Today I'm answering the question, can you really make money flipping fridges? Well, yes, of course, else I wouldn't be making this video. In fact, making money by selling fridges is easier than eating double your daily calorie budget. I'm making this video for people who want to get into flipping, but don't want to throw away their time in an endless labyrinth of thrift stores and garage sales. In this video, I show you how I reliably acquire and sell fridges for up to $200 in profit per fridge. But before you can start flipping fridges like a madman, you need some equipment to get started. First, you need a phone with Facebook Marketplace and an internet connection. If you're watching this video, you probably have one. Then you will need a sack truck. They're about $20 on Facebook Marketplace. Afterwards, you need a vehicle to transport the fridges. A van or a ute is great. If you don't have a vehicle to transport the fridges, just go and borrow a vehicle or hire one out. If you have to hire or borrow a vehicle, keep using that vehicle until you have enough money to buy your own vehicle. There is no excuse. And with that out of the way, let's begin. We start with acquisition. Get your magic phone, download Facebook Marketplace and look for free fridges. The way I do it, I go on Facebook Marketplace and put in fridge in the search bar. Then I filter by the newest listings with a maximum price of $0. That will show you all the free fridges in the area. Make sure to message all the people who are offering free fridges. Don't overcomplicate it, but also don't sound like a hard to get, disinterested slob. Very important, don't use the standard Facebook Marketplace message. Hey, is this still available? No. Don't. Using this message is a first-class ticket to getting ignored. A way better approach is sending something like this. Hey, name, I really like this fridge. May I come pick this up at time? Also, please let me know what suburb you are located in. Thank you, your name. This message gives the seller a great reason to respond, as you don't look like a time-wasting goblin that is just messaging everybody, but rather you look like an upstanding and respectful citizen. And hopefully they will also send you their location, or at least the suburb they are located in, which will give you an estimate if it's even worth your time to go and pick up the fridge. For example, I will avoid areas that are more than half an hour drive, because I don't want to drive too much. You'll most likely need to message a couple people, but on average, I usually get around 1 out of 10 messages, most of the time more, depending on the time of the day and what weekday it is. On the weekend it's way more, during the week it's less. And for your own sanity, please keep your expectations low. Because if you expect to get every single fridge that you message, you won't. Once you negotiated a time and an address, you go and pick up the fridge. I hope you also have checked the picture in the description to make sure you're not getting an old rusty box that's leaking fluid everywhere. When you inspect the fridge, check for the following items. Light, is it working? Shelves, is there any? Temperature, is it cold? Stains, are they easy to clean? Seals, are they attached and smooth? Smell, does it smell like a dead animal? Dents and scratches. Surprisingly, they actually don't matter much. If some of these are not alright and the fridge looks like it has been living in a hobo's backyard, feel free to walk away from the fridge. It will probably save you quite a bit of time. If the fridge is looking mighty fine, bring it back into your flipping dungeon. And while transporting the fridge, always make sure to transport the fridge upright, not sideways, upright. Because if you do it sideways, this might break the fridge. More to that later. After successfully bringing back your fridge, it's now time for the next step, which is preparation. It's time to clean the fridge better than I clean my room when I'm procrastinating. Remove the shelves, get a cleaning agent and a cloth. The fridge will most likely have a bit of a scent. It's normal with all the food and whatever is inside. So it's best to use something that's odor neutralizing. I, for example, like to use borax and dilute it with some water. You'll probably also have some glue spots where people put stickers on the fridge. Maybe a child has written something with a permanent marker. For those kind of spots, I usually use a heat gun for the glue and some methylated spirits to rub off the glue and the permanent marker as well. And I tried it already. Avoid vinegar. It's quite a harsh chemical for a fridge, and also it leaves a vinegar smell which can be quite unpleasant. The shelves that you have removed will just simply be cleaned in the sink with some dishwashing soap. And after cleaning the fridge, I usually bring the fridge indoors to test it and to take pictures. I also try to take pictures outdoors, but if you take pictures outdoors of your fridge, it kind of looks really ghetto. It looks like the fridge has always been sitting outside, decreasing the market value dramatically. I remember taking a picture of a fridge, listing it for 70 bucks. I took the picture outdoors. The fridge didn't sell. It was on there for 2 weeks. Then I decided to bring the fridge indoors, listed for 150, and it sold within 2 days. Pictures of outdoor fridges look always like they had a rougher life than your big city neighborhood hobos. So do yourself a favor and take the pictures inside. It will increase the chance of selling, and that's what you want, right? Which brings me to the third and the final step, which is the sale. Go to Facebook Marketplace and create a new listing. Important when you are creating the listing, make sure that you use the crop feature of Facebook Marketplace to square the pictures up, because Facebook likes to distort the pictures sometimes. So make sure to always square it and make it look nice on every picture. The main picture should always have the fridge completely visible. Not half, not just the top, not just the bottom, the whole fridge. Afterwards, it's time to write a title and a description. My titles usually follow this blueprint: brand, volume, fridge freezer, model, delivery available. For example, Tesla 69 liters fridge freezer XYZ delivery available. After that, write a description that tells the buyer everything about the fridge. And most importantly, what the buyer is looking for is the weight, the dimensions, height, length and depth, the energy consumption. Write that down in kilowatt hours per year, and the volume, the total volume, the fridge volume and the freezer volume. Afterwards, mention any fault that the buyer needs to know. I usually mention some dents and scratches because all second-hand fridges have them. People usually don't mind any dents and scratches. If you write down some of the faults, it will make your listing feel way more legitimate. Because let's be honest, people will be wondering why you're selling a perfect fridge for $100. But if you add a few faults, it makes sense why it's 150 or 100. After mentioning all the negatives, make sure to end the listing on a high note. Mention that the fridge works perfectly and that it will be plugged in and running when they choose to pick it up. This will give the buyer a sense of security that what he's buying is actually not a piece of crap. And it will also make it safer for you, because they can't argue that you sold them a broken fridge if they pick it up and it is literally working. Because a lot of people, they get a fridge, bring it back home and then will complain that the fridge doesn't work. The reason why it suddenly stopped working is because they transported it on the side. And if you take a fridge and put it on the side, the gas, the refrigerator gas, can move around. And if that happens, it might not come back where it's supposed to be. And in the end, this can break the cooling system. But I know this is not gonna happen to you. Finally, to top off the listing, I usually offer delivery to the customer. I charge between 30 and 50 bucks depending on how far away it is. And also how motivated I am this day to drive. I remember the other day I actually charged somebody 50 bucks for a 10-minute drive because I didn't want to drive. But they accepted, so I ended up driving anyway. And if it's really far away, I just decline. You don't have to accept every single offer. And it's done. If you've done all the steps right, you have now learned how to flip fridges. You have learned the 3 steps of acquisition, preparation and sale. And if all of this sounds way too easy, well, that's because it is. It only takes a little bit of effort and some juicy calf muscles to get going. But there's so much more you can do to make money as a reseller. Fridges is just one part of it. Watch this video next, in which I talk about the 7 habits of a reseller that make me money. Like and subscribe. I see you in the video.